Hey, hold on, hold. Bag up, Terry. Put it in reverse, Terry. Oh, Lord, jeez.
Hey, Sooner football fans. This is your Sooner football fans podcast. You got Terry and Rob. Wait, nope, I don't have Rob here. I have a special guest host since Rob blew me off today. But I have Sooner Lisa with us. Remember Sooner Lisa?
Boomer Terry.
I can call you Rob, Lady Rob. I have Lady Rob here. And we are coming at you from the beautiful Podcast Palace in Norman, Oklahoma, home of the 2021 National Championship Oklahoma Sooner softball team, who just put a whooping on Florida State the last two games to claim their fifth national title. What is it, 4 in the last 6 years?
Yeah. That's
pretty amazing, isn't it?
Some badass ladies.
Yes, it is. So, first off, I got to get all the little stuff out of the way. The band that enters us in, Fever Tree, make sure and go check out their YouTube page, Fever Tree. Spotify, you can find their music on Spotify. Lessons Learned is their current album, and they're in the studios right now working on it. Memphis and Sooner fans, they are Sooner fans. So give them a little bit of support. Also, check out, we are going to have a guest from the OU Club of Atlanta, but you can check out the OU Club of Atlanta on Facebook, Twitter, and their OUClubOfAtlanta.com, their website. Check them out. We're going to be talking to Treva Jones. I'm not sure what her position is there, but it's pretty high up, I think. But she is going to tell us all about the OU Club of Atlanta and then do what we do best on the podcast, talk to Sooner fans about Sooner football or Sooner sports. So, how have you been, Lisa?
Awesome.
Or Lady Rob? Can I call you? I'm going to call you Lady Rob all night.
It's so funny. That's what I really call her.
Is Lady Rob?
You're such a lady. So Rob, you're a lady. I'm just in awe of actually being live in the podcast.
Yeah.
So usually I'm at home listening, thinking you're live and yelling at you.
Yeah, because, well, now if I forget somebody's name and you forget somebody's name, you'll understand our plight.
I'll text Rob.
Yeah. So did you spend the week watching the Sooner softball team?
I did. I lost my job doing it. The stupid time that they put that on there. We hate you, ESPN.
Yeah, 2 o'clock. Yeah.
And I think that a lot of that was the NCAA. But you know what, Terry? I swear, I googled the times right when the Sooners beat James Madison, and I swear they were evening games until Alabama lost.
No, they were evening games, but they had to push the Oklahoma.
No, but I meant the series games because I looked at the finals.
Yeah.
The final times, so I could kind of get ready.
Right.
And then all of a sudden,
well, they had to push them a day because
no excuse.
The weather delay over the weekend, and that's what they were saying is they had to push it, and they already had programming that was more important than the College World Series, the Softball World Series, which was NBA basketball, which sucks. So, I'm becoming the same type of basketball fan that I am a soccer fan. I'm getting to where I can't watch pro basketball. I haven't watched it all year long. But anyway, they pushed the game to 2 o'clock. And I was surprised. No, I'm not surprised. But I think ESPN and some of their local radio people were surprised there were so many people there. Because that's the thing they were saying was like, it's going to be an empty stadium. 2 o'clock, people can't get off work. Apparently, people put the double birds up to the bosses and said, I got tickets to the championship game.
They don't know Sooner.
Oh, yeah. We don't care about our jobs.
It's a job. Yeah, it was a great series, though. Like I said, I might have gotten a little bit of trouble at work, but far, I haven't gotten any pink slips. So
Yeah.
I guess it wouldn't be a pink slip anymore since I work at home.
It'd be a
Except
pink
online.
email, right?
Yeah. I'm glad I got to watch it. It was awesome.
Well, we've been planning on quite a while, and those of you who all listen, to have Treva on and talk about the OU Club of Atlanta and get back to doing, talking with fans. And I scheduled her for Labor Day weekend, and I was like, "Oop, my bad. We got, we were doing stuff with family that weekend." I said, "Can we do it the next weekend?" Next Sunday night, and she said, "Yeah, well, we were playing at 6:30 that Sunday night." And I said, "Well, how about tomorrow night?" We were playing at 6:30 that night. And I said, she was actually game with doing it. I said, "I don't think our focus would be much on anything other than watching the softball game."
There's no way.
I don't think people wanted a podcast the day after it of us going, "Look at that." So, but we finally got it lined out. So you just want to get her on the phone and talk with her?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do that.
All right, Sooner fans, on the phone with us all the way from Atlanta, Georgia, we have Treva Jones with the OU Club of Atlanta. Boomer Treva.
Sooner, Terry.
Now, so for those of you who don't know what it's like to record a podcast, we just did like 10 minutes of a podcast, and I didn't have it recording right, so we had to start over. So Treva going to have to tell us everything she just told us for the last 5 minutes.
But we got to know each other very well.
Yeah. Her and Lisa had a nice little conversation. But anyway, thanks for coming on. Sorry we had so much trouble with, we blaming the softball team for it taking so long to get you on.
No worries.
Every time we schedule it was softball game. So did you get to check out all the games? Did you watch all of them?
100%. And you originally scheduled during a holiday too.
Yeah.
And apparently you've gotten voluntold that you had plans.
So. Yeah. I mean, it's like, it's a holiday. And I was like, I got to do a podcast. We're going to David's. Or David's coming here. I can't remember which one it was. And I'm like, oh, it's a holiday. Oh. But what's weird is now that I work from home, my office is at home now. Holidays don't seem to matter as much to get to take off. And it's like, oh, it's a holiday. So I'm going to pretty much be doing the same thing I do every day, except,
right.
Pay people because that's what I do. But,
right.
So did the club have watch parties, or did y'all watch them as a group, or did you and your husband just kick back and watch the games?
So we watched them at home. Atlanta's a really big city, and we hope to get to a point where we're watching everything. But our biggest draw is probably the football parties.
Yeah.
The basketball is hard because it can change so many times. And so trying to pin down the basketball games is like trying to staple Jell-O to the floor.
I hate trying that. So
we do have some loyal members and fans that are always asking us that question. So that's a great question. Some of it we can for all of them. We want to get to a point where we do it for everything. But we got to grow some more and get us out there, which thanks, by the way, for getting us out there some more.
Well, our pleasure. So, do you get to come? How often do you come to home games or away games? How often do you get to go to football games?
Well, so we're in Atlanta, so everybody has to remember, for those of you who live closer to Norman, you're not paying for a flight or to drive 10 plus hours. And then, pay for a hotel.
Yeah.
Unless you have family. I think I could fit, with your mascot. So I think next time, to save some money, I'll just sleep next to your pup. But, then we have to pay for tickets, and
yeah,
it gets pretty expensive. So we try and go as much as we can. A lot of the clubs, because we're not the only one, we'll try and put trips together. Like the Tulane game is only like 6 hours drive,
Yeah.
which is a bargain. But sometimes we try and make it to the Virginia games, despite getting heckled.
Yeah.
It's a bad crowd.
We enjoy it. So we try and go as much as we can. But I do know a lot of the Atlanta fans, and that's one of the whole points of the fact that we're so far away. We try and make it our home away from home.
Yeah.
So a lot of times we go ahead and stay, and I personally record all the games anyway, so that I can go home and then watch it later. But yeah, so I did get to see all the softball games. But yeah, as far as getting to come to football games, it happens when it happens.
Yeah.
We'd love to go to all of them. And season tickets opened back up again.
Yep. Full capacity again this year. But
full capacity.
Yeah, I'm one of those fans that, though I like the game day atmosphere, I really, really like sitting on my couch with a cold beer and watching the game from my house. This past season, without having a tailgate and doing all the work that goes with that, and then getting there, going to the game, it's the greatest atmosphere. It is so much fun. But also waking up in the morning, drinking my coffee slowly, throwing on the stuff on the grill. It was really nice for for all those games.
So,
but, you do miss I did miss it drastically, the excitement. And I know, we've got a lot of friends that, listen to the podcast stuff, that they were part of that 25% that went. And I don't think they're not unhappy that they did it, but they said it wasn't the same. It
right.
was really, really weird. And I guess the university had sound noise piped in, so they said it was like listening to static a lot, because you could tell it was fake.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and, I got to be honest, when I do get to come, I will fly in, and, sometimes I get the layovers in Dallas. And when we get on the plane from Dallas to Oklahoma City, I know it's a plane full of Oklahomans, and you can feel the difference. You can tell the difference.
Yeah.
It's not like being on any other airplane. And same thing with the stadiums, when there's nobody there, you don't get to feel that Sooner magic.
Right.
And if I get to go, I'm one of the ones that they are usually like, ma'am, are you going to be leaving? And I'm like, no, I'm still taking photos. Those fans that leave early and things like that,
they make me mad.
Yeah.
And I think I speak for everybody that's not in Oklahoma that doesn't get to go on a regular basis, where it's like, I'd kill to be at one of those games. And so, my goal this year is to try to get to at least one of them. My goal this year is definitely to try and get a photo with Boomer and Sooner.
Yeah.
But that's the goal.
So, again, we want to talk about the OU Club of Atlanta, and we'll talk about some more of your fandom here shortly. But, it's not all about going to games and watching games. You guys raise money. You're in your community doing things. Tell us what an OU Club is, or what the OU Club of Atlanta does.
So, the OU Club of Atlanta, and all of the clubs, by the way, we're not the only one. We'll definitely give a shout out later to some of my favorite ones. But the alumni clubs and societies provide meaningful engagement opportunities for the alumni and friends. Okay, friends, it's really important. We definitely need to get away from that alumni only thing, because that's not what the watch parties are about.
Okay.
I personally am not an OU alumni, but I'm definitely a Woomer Sooner, which, and when you're born in Oklahoma and Texas and that area, you before you even come out, you already have your team picked.
Exactly.
Right? You don't get a choice. So it is what it is. So I'm a Woomer Sooner, and I go to all of the events. But it's really important to say that because a lot of people say, oh, OU alumni, well, I can't go. It's for everybody. If you have any interest in the game, come on down. We actually invite the other teams too for some events, believe it or not. Because when you're stranded in SEC country, you're willing to see anyone, anyone from the Big 12. We like them all, so besides funding, finding reasons to get together and celebrate, being a Sooner, and many of the alumni clubs and societies and things like that. And I'm turning on a lamp because it got dark here because we're an hour out of you guys, so it's already dark here. But finding reasons to get together and being celebrating being a Sooner. Many of the clubs and societies work really hard every year and all year, by the way, to raise money locally to help support students from our communities and that are going to the University of Oklahoma. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So some info, if somebody wants to get a scholarship and they have a kid that's going, they need to be at a club that's in their state. So that's something I found out this year. But that's what we do. We're not just a bunch of, crazy people getting together and drinking and partying and have a good time. We do that too, but for the most part, it's about the kids and it's about helping them pay for all of their supplies and things that they need. And it's not cheap. So if you're sending a kid to college, we want to support them and we feature them. And it's a little bit of a process for them to get picked. But the more money we raise, the more people we can give scholarships. So that's our goal. That's what we do.
Right. And that's good to know, especially so, any of our podcast listeners out there in Atlanta, you don't have to be an alumnus if you're just a Sooner fan and are born and raised a Sooner fan. They can reach out and become involved, right? Did I understand that right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, and, we were thrilled when you guys, reached out to us, because I never even thought about that, that during COVID, your fundraising, we all know that businesses got shut down, but, groups like you got shut down too.
Yeah.
So you guys reached out and said, hey, and so we just put some of y'all's merchandise out there, and I think we had a few people buy some stuff.
Right.
Cool hats, by the way. Don't be looking for the hat to steal, Lisa. I said cool hats, and she's.
I noticed the magnets over there.
Yeah, and we have.
I'm wondering if you noticed if I kind of corked one and took it home. With
me. the magnets are in the podcast palace here, so.
Yes.
And I really, and I know a couple of people that got them. They thought they were pretty cool too. So.
Well, and we can't thank podcast enough. I got to be honest, because I'm the communications board chair. So if anybody wants to reach me for any reason, they can get a hold of me through all of our social media. It's not my role to do the emails, but if they copy me or they mention me, it'll go to me. But if anybody needs any of that stuff, 100% of all of our money goes to scholarships. I mean, I literally like to tell people, we're the super fans. We're the crazy people that love our university so much. We work for free.
Yeah.
Wait, Terry told me he was paying me for this.
Right.
Yeah, I'll pay you when I start getting paid, Lisa.
So yeah, all the stuff that we put out on social media, somebody's taking their time. And all of these parties and all this effort, is for the kids, and they're not kids. Let's be clear. My 23-year-old will be a kid forever as far as I'm concerned. But as a parent, they're young adults and that's all we do. And all the money goes to them. So we make zero. And we are official through the university. So it's part of the OU clubs and societies. It's part of our philanthropy part. But that's another thing too. We try at these events as well to support local businesses and like support the food pantries, for example, and things like that, because the food pantries had a hard time during COVID. And so on our spring game, we were so thrilled to have a spring game because we had a reason to get back together. And we're one of the few clubs that were able to attend watch parties or have watch parties. A lot of the cities completely shut down and had no watch parties. So I don't think any of the clubs this year are giving a scholarship this year, by the way. It's just going to roll over into next year. So yeah, we're so grateful. We've had a lot of folks, and it was terrifying, by the way, reaching out to podcasts and things like that, because you don't want to get shut down because you are asking for help. But you guys have been absolutely wonderful. We've had such a huge reach, and there's so many people that don't know these clubs exist. So if you're traveling, you're not at home, guess what? Chances are there's a club somewhere. It's actually on a web page where you can put in like watch parties and find out every city that's got one. And some aren't official, some are. But yeah, welcome out everybody. Anybody that wants to come is welcome.
Yeah, and I mean, how are you if a fan comes to one of your watch parties wearing a Baker Mayfield Cleveland Brown jersey?
I think I'll skip that question. I think I'm going to go with a no comment on that one.
Fine.
Listen, Sam Bradford's my favorite quarterback, so
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield definitely made me drink a little more that year when he was a quarterback.
Did he make you run from cops too?
So, Baker's exciting to watch. I'm so glad that he's found such a great home in Cleveland. I know those guys probably have a really hard time leaving their home and then going to just wherever they get put.
No,
they
get $30 million. You could send me to the friggin' Antarctica tomorrow. Okay, we're going to sign you to a 7-year deal to the Antarctica worth $30 million. I'm there.
Right, with a lot of bug spray.
Yeah, but well, okay. Now tell us a little bit about your fandom. You live in Atlanta, but are you originally from there? How did you become a Sooner? You said you're a Woomer Sooner, which means
I'm a Woomer.
You were born into it. So
right. So Woomer Sooners. Yeah, like I said, I was born into it. No, I'm originally from Oklahoma. I was born in Altus. So for all you Altus people listening, we do exist.
and by the way, those of you who don't know about Altus, it is the hottest spot in Oklahoma every year. And sometimes in the United States, it will be the hot. You'll see on the news, they'll go, well, Altus, Oklahoma today was 112 degrees, and it was the hottest point hotter than the Mojave Desert,
right?
Phoenix, Arizona. For some reason, God puts a heat wave. It gets hot down there. I don't know why.
We do have a lake, though. We do have a lake.
And an Air Force base.
Yeah. And an Air Force base. My grandfather painted airplanes for Altus Air Force Base. And so that's where I'm originally from. But I have family all over Oklahoma. A lot of family everywhere. It's not. I have family in Texas, too. We don't really need to talk about that, but they've made their choice. So I've been here about 6 years. I actually was here in Atlanta when I was younger and went to school here. My dad had one of those jobs where we moved all the time. So I've been everywhere. Oddly enough, in all of the hot places. I've lived in Yuma too, and it gets pretty darn hot there too. So.
So is your whole family, your parents, grandparents, are they big Sooner fans, and you were just force fed it from the day you were born, which isn't a bad thing? You know,
Pretty
so,
much, pretty much. I do have an aunt that's a Razorback fan, but it happens.
yeah.
She made her choice. Charleston's club, by the way, the Sooner Club in Charleston, South Carolina, is actually responsible for a marriage between a Texas alumni and a Sooner fan.
Mm.
My sister-in-law, she went to Texas, and we do invite her to Thanksgiving. We do.
Ugh,
So,
you're a better woman than I am.
so, what is, from either childhood or adulthood or both? What's your favorite Sooner memory or something that will always stick out to you?
Well, so probably getting to pay for my dad's first Sooner game tickets. My dad has been a Sooner fan his entire life, and he hadn't been to a game. And when they played Bell State, I got him and my mom and everybody tickets for them to go ahead and go to that game. So probably my favorite is the smile on my dad's face uh,
Aw.
in the photos of the proudest man in the whole world getting to go to his first game. So that's probably it for me. Other than that, it would be more terror because my dad can't sit down during games, and he screams, and it's basically like shock therapy during a OU game because at some point you might just get the living daylight scared out of you if they score or if they do something. It's high volume. That's love you, Dad. So, and then just everybody's a Sooners fan. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
think for me, it's more of the camaraderie too. Anytime I get to go to the games, uh, the fans, God bless them, even the LSU fans when they played here in Atlanta. I'm going to be honest. We got told by everybody from LSU that we're the greatest fans they've ever played, and they wish they played us more often. Granted, they won, but let's be fair. They will feed you before the game. Okay, they have tailgate. They tailgate like no other fans, I think, and they will feed you before the game, and then they will curse you during the game, and do things we won't discuss on air. And then after the game, they'll feed you again. So, we get that a lot, and I think it's something special about OU fans. We take a lot of pride and just overall really good folks.
Yeah.
So, for us being an SEC country, it's rough. We won't mention a certain team, but their fans can be very difficult. So, it's nice. Honestly, we will even watch the games. Iowa State, the Cyclones. Did I say that right?
Yeah, Iowa State.
Their club is actually in the same facility we are, which we're at the Hudson Grill in Sandy Springs, and I enjoy being able to holler at them from our room to their room. They're in a separate room.
Gotta keep them separated.
Right. But I enjoy, especially like when we score, running through their room with pom-poms and then running back. So all the teams are welcome. But no, it's nice just to see Big 12 anything. I got to be honest, my husband went to Auburn. He couldn't find any decent wives here. He had to come all the way, get somebody all the way from Oklahoma. It happens. But he had a hard time putting, the horns down out the window at the Texas plates because of their rival team, which again, we won't mention.
Yeah.
But I got to be honest, we're so starved for Big 12 folks that people will have a Texas plate, and if they drive past me, I'm rolling down the window, and we're about to have a party in the road because I like to do the horns down at them. And then, of course, even if they're not Texas fans, they know what it means. And so they smile, and, we end up doing it back and forth. And, it's never been a bad thing. but that's one of my favorite things to do. I'm sure I've gotten plenty of looks from my husband for doing it.
So
But
have you ever got to go to an OU Texas game? Have you had that?
I have not.
Oh,
I have
You
not.
gotta put that on your list.
yeah.
It is on the list. It is on the list. The Dallas Club, by the way, does a great package, you guys.
Yeah.
For anybody that is going, not anyone from my club, please, you need to be at attendance. But Dallas does a really great package where you get the pep rally and you get Boomer and Sooner and the Roughnecks and the band. And, we'd be thrilled if we just got Sooner,
Yeah.
What do
Yeah.
you
we'll
have
take
against
anything.
Boomer? Boomer not
Hey,
good
we'll
enough?
I mean, Boomer's great, but he's kind of, the A-lister. Sooners,
Yeah.
we'll take him. We'll take him. So we'll take anybody. You know what I mean?
Well, what you need to
So.
do, honestly, what you need to do is the next time you say, okay, this year we're going to game X, is don't come to a home game. You have to experience OU Texas, okay? Because
Right.
we've talked about it on the podcast before. It is the greatest atmosphere, even though half of them are wearing burn ass orange and Texas fans. It is the greatest atmosphere of any sporting event you'll ever be. I've been to bowl games. I've been to.
Is it
It is
so?
loud for 4 hours. I mean,
So
it's
my
never
question
quiet.
is, do you guys also have an aversion to orange? I do.
Oh yeah, I hate.
Does
I-
it make you itch?
Yeah, I quit. I've told people I quit hunting because you have to wear orange.
Right.
I used to hunt. I'm like, nope, not going to do it anymore.
That is the only reason why I don't get arrested.
Yeah,
100%.
I mean, yeah, it's and Lisa is too. Lisa's a big Steelers fan.
Yeah.
So we've got Oklahoma. We got Oklahoma State and Texas in the old. I don't know what color orange Oklahoma State is, but
You know
we
what
got
they
the
call it, don't you?
the brightest orange.
Yeah, they say it's like America's brightest orange or something.
Yeah, some
because
stupid.
they're stupid.
Yeah, and then being a Steelers fans, we got the Cleveland Browns that are orange, and
Right.
the
Auburn's got orange in it,
Cincinnati
too, so-
Bengals. It's like ugh,
Auburn has orange in it too. So if my husband were to purchase me something with Auburn on it, it needs to be navy only.
Yeah,
White only.
Yeah, I do not have one stitch of clothing that has anything orange at all in it.
Well, and he doesn't understand why I have such a hard time folding his shirts for those shirts. I usually call in reinforcements at that point. But something else I was going to mention too, with the OU Club of Atlanta, we have DJ Chuck and we have DJ Kevin Reel too, and those guys actually are the same DJs for the Atlanta Braves.
No, cool.
And then they also do Georgia Tech, but these guys have actually come out to help us out, and they donate their time too, which is incredible. So now we only have one at a time. We don't make good money like the Braves do, so we can only afford one of them at a time. So they get both. Have been wonderful coming out to help us out. And then this year we're doing a lot of changes. We've got fans that are local that are going to donate stuff for Hudson Grill to put on the wall for us.
Oh, okay.
And then we also do tailgate for the really big events like the Texas Oklahoma game. We have Texas fans out and we do special menus and do a nice, really fun tailgate and have, they raise money for their club, which we do have a Texas club. And we have our club and we come out and, have fun together. But I will say, we have a great turnout for the OSU for those games. But it is kid friendly too. So if you guys are thinking, well, I don't really want to take my kid to a bar, it's not a bar. Hudson's got their own website and stuff. But we have games. If we know there's going to be a ton of kids for a specific game, I always tell folks to send me a message or something so I can bring the ginormous, huge Connect Four and extra stuff for the kids. And we try and give them things as well. But yeah. By the way, did you guys know there's 83 days till football?
80? Is it 83 now?
83 days.
That's less than 3 months.
Right.
See how good I am at math?
He wasn't even using his fingers or anything either. Off the top
Boom.
of his head.
Yes. So here's a question that Rob would me and Rob would have asked, but since Rob is not here,
Moving.
Yeah, but
bless his soul.
That's his excuse.
Bless his heart.
Anyway.
Yeah, and
right. I'm in Atlanta. It's bless his heart.
Yeah,
sorry.
he moved out of Norman to South Oklahoma City. I'm
Wait,
like, what?
Yes.
What are you doing? In his defense, he got in today's market, especially with real estate going up and up and up, he got
it's the
phenomenal
toilet paper debacle all over again.
Yeah, he got a really good deal and couldn't pass it up. So I get it. But anyway, we always try to find people that may know people and that might know people that might know people. Do you know anybody at Augusta National, or does anybody there know anybody at Augusta National?
I can and do, yes.
I love you.
I think I may need to leave the room. Give you guys some alone time.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. So if I were to happen to drive through with or without Rob.
Well, at this point, since I'm the one talking to her, I believe I should be the guest.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
How would I go about maybe, walking around on Augusta National with a stick?
Well,
or
I guess
two.
I will first and foremost say that it is a private club.
Mm-hmm.
We do know, I do know some folks that go every year and that do go to the club and things like that. So we can definitely put in some phone calls.
I would do so many unmentionable things.
God.
I don't know what Rob would do, but I know Rob pretty well. We would do bad things.
Augusta, if you're listening, I helped him in no way, shape, or form whatsoever.
Okay. The other thing is, and I know you listen to the podcast, is Rob. It's funny. You
guys saved me. Remember you saved me.
I did? How did I save you?
You did. You saved me. I'm tech savvy to a point. I had reached out to you guys and I had listened to a few of them, and I actually had downloaded a couple of them for later. And you saved me, but you guys also tortured me at the same time.
Well,
because it's the only thing I didn't realize on the plane. You have to have something downloaded. Sorry, I didn't know.
Yeah.
And the only thing I had downloaded and available was the podcast. Thank God. Because I had a snoring gentleman next to me, and it happens. But the only thing I had to listen to was the podcast. So I've actually heard one of the shows 5 times. So I'm a super fan, Terry. I'm a super fan.
Yeah, I remember you sent me that deal, and I was like, well, download other. And I think your response was, I don't know how to download them.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct. Now I do.
Well, there you go.
Now I do. Luckily that a new one had finished downloading, because I went from Tulsa to Dallas to Atlanta, which I don't understand that airlines.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't get it.
Anything out of Tulsa is going to go through Dallas or Chicago.
Oh, okay. I'm sure you can get a direct flight from Atlanta to Tulsa.
Possibly.
Yeah, every now and then.
I'm sure you can, but literally, that's, I honestly would never make it my goal, because I met an entire family coming back from vacation, and like I'd said before, you're in the presence of Oklahomans, and Sooner fans. Just because, I mean, you can feel it, they're good people, they're good folks. By the way, let's talk about Tulsa. Those guys have a club, and I think it's really important to mention that just because you're in Oklahoma doesn't mean you have to sit home and watch the game. Lucky Devils. We have to pay to see the games, by the way, a lot of times.
Right.
Oh, really? It's just not on.
It is, but it's, sometimes we have to do some serious finagling, which it happens. DirecTV pulled a stunt for the spring game, and we watched it. We were about 10 minutes late finally getting it, but it happened. It happened. That's all that's important. But I just want to encourage people to go to the Tulsa Club. They have a really low turnout, and they struggle with getting people to come out because they're in Tulsa. So, go meet some people and go meet some really good folks and, help Tulsa raise some money for those kids that are going to be going. I will forever be made fun of because we had an OU, a big OU alumni. I won't say who, but someone that I should have known about contact us about scholarships. And since I was unaware about the whole, you have to be in the state in order to be eligible, the board made fun of me for not knowing this person. And I'm not going to say who, but I'm going to say it was a big Sooner football person. And
it wasn't Barry Switzer, was it?
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't Barry. I would have known that. But it happens. But Tulsa has a really low turnout, guys. So definitely, if you guys are in the Tulsa area, go out and check it out. And I know Paige and Chris do a really good job for the university. I also want to mention Chicago. Manny has been instrumental in helping us kind of re-gear and come up with things for, being in COVID and, make some big changes and things like that. And I can't possibly thank him and you guys enough, for, helping us out. There's also a new one in Baltimore that I want to mention.
No.
The president, Brandon, just graduated from OU. He was already in school and working. He's an adult. But his graduation got canceled, so he was just there recently to finish graduating. But Brandon does a phenomenal job, and he's working super hard to build up a brand new one in Baltimore. And then, obviously, Kansas City, same deal. Like, he actually is one of the super fans that goes to the games with the huge sombrero on.
Oh, yeah. I know him. Yeah. He's been to the tailgate. He won the Toby Rowland's Unhitched the Wagon book giveaway that we did.
Yeah.
And we're actually going to have Brandon on the podcast next week. So
nice.
From the OU Club of Baltimore, and that's what it's one of the things we've reached out before, but if you in your networking, if you let them all know that if they want to come on the podcast and talk about what they do and talk about Sooner football or Sooner anything, they are more than what we love to do whatever we can to help everybody out. I mean, and it's not, and I say that and I kind of say it tongue in cheek. Okay.
Yeah.
I've got to say, we do things to try to help support stuff, but we don't have the ability to support everything. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because,
right.
I mean, we've done a few things, and it's weird that you get inundated with, can you help me, do this because we're fixing to get evicted. I'm like, oh, no, I can't, that's not what we, I've had some weird requests. I mean,
right.
And it's like, hey, if you have an event that you're doing or something like the OU Club of Atlanta or Baltimore or anywhere else, that we can talk about. You know, we've had people that had fundraisers for, you know, I just went blank, Lisa. It's the hashtag.
Tyson?
Yeah, Tyson Strong. We try to help out that. If there's something going on, we want to help, but we don't. That's not what we do. You know what I mean? We're not. Right. We will promote it or everything else, but I mean, and I hate being that way with sometimes when people, you know, send me stuff. It's like, but I've seen you do this. I'm like, well, it's because somebody already has something arranged and is doing something, and we'll talk about it and we'll promote it. But you know, and that's what we're wanting to do with the OU clubs from all over the country is talk about what, you know, Sooners do across the country. You know, how these clubs, because you're right. I think, you know, I don't know if all of them are like that. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I would just figure that if you weren't an alumnus, you couldn't be a part of an OU club. But if you're just a fan and grew up a fan, because there's a lot of people out there that I know listen to the podcast, and it's crazy how doing this podcast we have learned that there are fans from New Jersey, California, you know, Alaska,
Canada.
that have, you know, they weren't born and raised here, but they're huge Sooner fans, you know, and I know that they would love somewhere to be able to associate with more fans, you know, to go to watch parties, to go to events, to, you know, to help, you know, raise money. I know there's people out there. I've met them.
Is there a Sooner Club in Canada?
Yes.
There is?
Yes.
Get out of town.
I love Canadians.
I do too, eh?
Yeah, you do too.
I got detained there once, but I love Canadians.
You got detained. I think you told that story.
Yeah, it's a syrup.
Yeah, you tried to smuggle syrup back in.
Yeah, it was.
You criminal.
I'm gangsta.
Yeah, you're sitting in the holding pen. What are you here for? You know, I tried to smuggle in 5 pounds of meth. You 3 bottles of maple syrup.
It was like 20, but they were small.
So for future reference, Lisa, you can mail those with FedEx.
Well, thanks.
Which Canada, if you're listening, I did not give her. Yeah. I did not give her permission. I in no way, shape, or form am responsible.
I literally just bought those small maple leaf shaped syrup bottles for souvenirs.
Right.
And in my head, they were souvenirs.
Right.
And I just packed them, and I had no idea there was a syrup smuggling ring out of Canada. But I guess it's a real thing. And yeah, that was an interesting phone call to my boss because I was supposed to be at work the next day. I was like, yeah, you're not going to believe this.
But
that's fun.
I know the other thing that, you know, Rob was wanting to talk to you about, and we can talk more about it off you know, his son was a roughneck. Okay.
Wow.
Just graduated last year. And when they were at the Peach Bowl.
Yeah.
They actually went, you know, they went to the College Football Hall of Fame.
Yes.
And somebody that worked there came up to Rhett and wanted to know how they could get a roughneck outfit.
Right.
And Rhett, being the type of guy he is, Rob's youngest son, was like, "Hey, it'd be cool. I'll let you have mine when I graduate. You know." He was going to give it to his dad, but both of them were like, "It would be the coolest thing ever to have my roughneck gear in the College Football Hall of Fame." And they said, "Yeah, we'll put a picture of you," and you know, because it's the oldest male pep club in the country, you know, in college sports. So it's the longest running pep club, and Rob couldn't. Rhett didn't get enough information. Rob's tried to call there. That was another thing he was wanting to find out if there was anybody that you guys knew of there, because he has that stuff ready. I mean, they said they'd put it on a mannequin, but
I can always, if need be, drive over there if he knows who he talked to.
I'll find out.
And that's the other thing too. Like, you know, not to tout Oklahomans, but you know, we're big on helping other people. Like, you know, that's just who we are, and that's what we do. So it's nice if you're moving to a new city too to make Sooner friends, you know?
Yeah.
Sooner friends are the best.
So
yeah, no kidding.
I'm actually sitting here looking at, you know, to try to stay up, not to know who I'm talking to. I've got your Facebook page pulled up. Is that a gigantic margarita in front of you?
Are you seriously stalking her?
Yes, I'm stalking her. I'm good at stalking people.
Let me see. I haven't looked. Are you
I
talking
think-
about the photo of me and my husband?
Yeah, it looks like he has a dark beer. And then it looks like you have 2 gigantic margarita glasses that are empty. Just wondering. Not saying anything.
Empty margarita glass is the best one.
So that's us at Hudson Grill. By the way, that's what the watch party room looks like. And that's my lovely husband who is being a sport and wearing OU stuff. And that, by the way, is my Sam Bradford signed jersey on both sides.
Oh.
He signed both the ones on front and back. But those are Coca-Cola glasses.
Yeah.
And they've got unsweet tea in them. So it would be nice if they were margaritas.
That is so Atlanta. Coca-Cola glasses with sweet tea in them.
Those are massive Coca-Cola glasses. And I... hopefully Hudson Grill's probably going to listen to this podcast too, but I purchased them and have some at my house.
Yeah, you purchased them, huh?
No, I really did. Their wonderful manager Alan gave me permission
to purchase them.
And so I actually have a couple of those. Those are my favorite glasses. They're massive. They do retain a lot. They probably should put margaritas in those.
See, I have some Buffalo Wild Wing. We have a bunch of Buffalo Wild Wing glasses that we purchased.
Well, it's not stealing. You're requiring them for further use elsewhere.
Yeah,
I really did get permission from the manager, though. I really did.
Yeah.
Because I have to go back there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no,
Thanks for letting me know that I have evidence, by the way, on social media.
Once again, you saved her.
But I did actually get permission.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, actually, the same with Buffalo Wild. We kind of started this deal about 4 or 5 years ago. Kind of our favorite restaurants is like, hey, we want to have a couple of glasses from our favorite restaurants. Most of them will end up giving them to you. They're like, oh, yeah, sure. And then some of them are like, yeah, those are $9.99. What?
Yeah.
Are they lined with gold?
Right. Which, by the way, for those of you out there stealing glasses, a lot of times if you ask, they will let you have them.
No.
I'll start asking.
Yeah.
And if they say no and you need to take matters into your own hands,
there you go.
Again, I do not promote.
I'm kind of a klepto when it comes to shot glasses. I'm not gonna lie. I may have an over amount of shot glasses that I acquired.
Speaking of which, that's something I could say, because I always feel like I'm always reaching out for the club and asking for stuff. But Lisa, if you have some OU ones that you don't really care for, or they're your least favorite, you're welcome to mail those to us, and we will auction Sooner Lisa shot glasses.
Ooh.
I will do that. And speaking of that, Treva, can you tell us how to contact you, either through social media or email, in case somebody wants more information or wants to donate, stuff like that?
So, and by the way, we did have a wonderful Sooner fan on one of the Facebook groups, because, again, I reached far and wide. I will say, again, Sooner Gridiron is not affiliated through the university, but he also helps us along with a lot of others. I didn't know that Bob Stoops had a statue that talks.
Wait, it
on
talks?
Twitter. Yeah, Bob Stoops
Yes.
has a statue that talks on Twitter.
Yeah, Bob's statue. Lincoln Riley's bacon does too.
Yeah. So there's a lot of
I was
really
like, I've
cool
been to that
characters.
statue so many times, and he's never even said
We
hello.
should have left it like that, and I could have videoed Lisa standing in front of Bob statue trying to get him to talk. You did not. You should have seen her face light up when you said there's a statue that talks. She was like, Lisa has an unhealthy liking of Coach Stoops, probably.
Okay. See, mine's Sam Bradford. I got to meet him. Well, the St. Louis Club, by the way, when he was playing for the Rams, which, by the way, that was torture
Yeah.
for those of you Rams fans out there. Your team's horrible.
Yeah.
Are there any Rams fans?
That was horrible to watch him get beat up, and not get protected. But we did get to see him. The St. Louis club actually did a meet and greet, which Atlanta is going to try very hard this year to do a Trae Young meet and greet.
Oh, yeah.
And that's something else we do. Like Joe Washington comes out and sees us. And then for any football people or roughnecks or gymnastics or any sport, the ladies softball, if any of those guys want to come out to Atlanta and say hi or go to any of the clubs and help them out, we would love it because it's a really tough deal for us to get a hold of any of those people. So, if they ever want to reach out to us, by all means, we will, take care of accommodations and things. A lot of times they don't even let us, but we can take care of accommodations. And we talked about you, Terry, maybe trying to come out and do a podcast from Atlanta.
Yeah.
So we could definitely
You should
that.
see Terry now.
Yeah, we would love to. I mean, me and Rob have
Lisa,
talked about it.
you can come, but you have to bring your cutout.
My cutout would love it.
You have to import yourself and your cutout.
Well, I have been talking about sending it, to Canada.
Right.
I have some friends up in Canada, and she needs to go. I don't think she would smuggle anything, so we should get her back
But
safely.
You had asked me too how to get in contact. We have all of the social media, so we're on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and we can be reached that way at any point. I will say on Facebook, I'm not as quick to get back because their system is set up to where you don't just get a message from Messenger. There's a setup a little different, but we will get those. Anybody can get a hold of me. That's how you can get a hold of me. Or the OU Club for any reason. Because again, parents reach out, even famous parents that terrify me and get me made fun of. But I will answer any questions no matter what it is. But yeah, if somebody wants to donate, I know there's tons of folks that have OU stuff there, which is a rare commodity here. We do find things online, but we actually pay for and purchase all of the raffle items as well. We do a raffle and we do 50-50. And if somebody wants to donate, they can just get a hold of me through any of the social media. We have a website. It's the OU Club of Atlanta. And they can message us at the OU Club of Atlanta at gmail.com. And if they can't remember that, obviously we're on social media. But they can get a hold of us any way they want. I'm available, obviously, and I do all of the replies. So if somebody wants to get a hold of me and donate, we would love that. We've got a couple of pictures that we're going to auction here soon that were donations. Because, again, we're just being creative. And if anybody wants to help some of their clubs, too, they always need help. They always need volunteers because we're volunteers, too. Go out and help a club out, do some philanthropy and, prove that you're a real Sooner fan. Prove it.
Now, on the us coming out there, you were talking about a game week, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Any particular game?
I mean, I would say that we have a major draw for the Texas game. I don't know, Terry, what's going to happen this year. And Sooner, Lisa, you're always welcome to come out. And Rob can come too.
Who's
But
Rob?
I don't know what's going to happen this year. I know that for Oklahoma, they're probably going to be at full capacity and things like that. We're hoping that everything's going to return to normal this fall. I feel it in my Sooner Magic bones that we're going to have great turnout. But I guess let's get a couple games under our belt and see what our turnouts are like.
No.
So normally we have somewhere between 200, 300, 400 people, depending. But
That come to your watch parties?
Wow.
sometimes,
Holy
we've had
cow.
we've had years in the past where, which by the way, for everybody who is listening, like as far as the Atlanta club goes, we've been invaded by the Ohio Buckeyes. And so our goal is to push them out and take over the whole bar. We'll let Iowa stay. Iowa can stay. But
all you really got to do is get a flag and plant it.
Yeah, every time
every time somebody walks in the door.
Yeah, when they're there, just somebody run in there with an OU flag and slam it in the floor and walk out.
Yeah.
Right. Which I do need to talk to the manager, or we could probably make that happen. But
if that does happen, we would like some video, please.
Hey, if you guys come out, we'll do it for that game, because generally their games just, we'll see if their game's on the same time. So, but yeah, our numbers have definitely dwindled. A lot of the watch parties, we had, 20, 30, 40 people, which is crazy. But yeah, this year I think we're going to be back to the norm. And I think all the clubs will, for the most part, just depending upon where you're at. And
yeah, Oklahoma. So, I mean, like I said, that we're full. Full capacity is the plan at the stadium. Our lovely mayor here finally lifted the mask mandate. We were the last city, and as she put it, we were the first city to do it and the last to stop, which makes no sense to me. But anyway, I mean, and it's really weird because I've gotten so used to walking in with a mask, and now, you can if you want, but you don't have to. I mean,
right.
Waitresses aren't wearing them anymore, and and I'm glad. I mean, it's. I still carry my mask in my pocket though. I'm like, I don't know, just in case, maybe if I'm driving out and somebody's, one of those emergency alerts, everybody put their mask on. I guess I'll have it, but.
Georgia's been super fortunate, where they let adults make an adult choice for themselves.
Yeah.
Not all parts of Atlanta, obviously. Certain areas, if you went in, you were kind of in shell shock, and you're like, oh yeah, I got it. But the majority of the time, people obviously, our kids went back to school as normal. Initially they did do homeschool, but our kids went back to school and have been back in school this whole year. So they gave everyone the choice, though. If parents wanted to keep their kids home, they could do that, especially, high risk, and, no one wants to lose a family member.
Yeah.
But they gave us the choice. So it's been pretty good, but I will say all the employees were wearing them no matter what. And I kind of feel bad for those guys. We got to make a choice. They really didn't. But always at the watch parties, if that's what the CDC says, that's what we went by. A lot of the clubs, because the university said it depends on what area you're in, because they do mandate and dictate what we can and can't do. Ours luckily didn't have that. So we were still able to have watch parties for football only. So, yeah.
Yeah, speaking of COVID, we should give a shout out to Kelvin Hicks.
Yeah, Kelvin Hicks.
Hope you're feeling better, Kelvin.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, he great guy. I've met him. His son is a defensive end, but just recently, and he's a peace officer. He's a police officer up in Kansas. Got pretty sick with it. Went into the hospital for a little bit, came back out, and then developed pneumonia afterwards. Isn't that right, Lisa? It was pneumonia afterwards, and so
wow.
He spent about the last 3 weeks in the hospital, 2 or 3 weeks.
Seems like it's been a while. Yeah, he was keeping everybody updated on Facebook, but I think he's home now.
Yeah.
Well, definitely prayers from Atlanta and the Atlanta family here, because that's tough. I know a lot of people have struggled with it. So.
Okay, it's time for everybody's favorite Sooner football fans podcast game. It is Sooner Not a Sooner. Now, do you know the rules, Treva, of Sooner Not a Sooner?
I do not.
Okay, there's not really any rules, but
okay.
Here's the deal. To narrow it down, what we do is we'll give you a name, and you've got to tell us whether that person was a Sooner football player
Okay.
or not.
Okay.
And you get bonus points if you know anything extra about the Sooner person or even about the person that's not a Sooner. Okay.
Can we put in a bunter? Can we bring someone else in to answer for me?
Pinch hitter.
Now,
what is that called in the softball? A pinch hitter?
Yeah,
or
pinch hitter.
Pinch runner.
Yeah. Now, to narrow it down, because there's thousands and thousands of Sooner players, it is only people who have been drafted in the NFL.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. And that is only 418 people. Oklahoma's had 418 people drafted in the NFL. Now, to make it a little bit, easier to, it is we'll do second round draft picks. Is that fair, Lisa? Do you think that's fair?
Yeah. Let's
do second round. Let me get my little cheat sheet out here.
Oh, wow. Can I get out Google? No.
Let me do it this way. Nope. Okay. All right. And I said it's easy. You just say, I'm going to say the name.
Sooner or not a Sooner.
And then you say Sooner or not a Sooner. And then you get extra points if you know anything about that Sooner or not a Sooner.
Okay.
Okay. Are you ready? And
I'm
again,
ready.
these are Sooners that were at least second round draft picks.
I'm always ready to get smeared. Let's do this.
Okay. Scott Case, Sooner or not a Sooner?
I'm going to say Sooner.
Do you know anything about Scott Case?
Nothing.
You are correct.
All right.
And see, I threw you a big old fat softball because Scott Case was a second round draft pick. Guess where he was drafted to, Lisa?
Well, I'm going to guess Atlanta.
Yes, the Atlanta Falcons.
Yes.
He was a defensive back for the Oklahoma Sooners. He a Super Bowl champion, and he was drafted in 1984 to the Atlanta Falcons in the second round.
I will say I don't think we currently have a Falcons Sooner. Last I checked. We might, but I do check pretty frequently. If the Falcons pick up a Sooner, I'm pretty excited about it. So
I don't think they do.
Okay, next one. Jimmy Dugan, Sooner, not a Sooner?
I want to say Sooner, but I feel like you might be messing with me. I'm going to go not a Sooner.
You are correct. Do you know who Jimmy Dugan is?
No idea.
Can I throw something out there?
Yeah.
Because you know me, I don't watch movies, but I watched A League of Their Own more than once. Is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jimmy Dugan was played by Tom Hanks in the movie A League of Their Own. He was the coach that coined the phrase, There's no crying in baseball. Okay, let's see here. Dante Jones, Sooner or not a Sooner?
Sooner.
Do you know anything about Dante Jones?
No idea.
See, I'm giving you a chance to say, well, I know he was a second-round draft pick because I told you they were second-round draft picks. So that way you see what I'm saying when I ask you if you know anything?
Hey, I'm 3 out of 3 at this point. I'm thrilled at that.
He was a linebacker, drafted in 1988 to, Lisa, do you know where he went? What team?
I want to say Denver, but I'm not sure. Wasn't he like the MVP of the Orange Bowl back in the day?
I think you may be right.
He was a linebacker.
That sounds right.
Right? Yeah. He was a linebacker. Yeah. I think he won MVP.
Yeah, he went to the Chicago Bears.
Okay.
Second-round draft pick.
The
Bears.
The Bears.
They have orange in their name, too.
Yeah, they do.
Colors.
Okay. Aubrey Beavers, Sooner not a Sooner?
Aubrey, you said?
Yes.
Not a Sooner.
Incorrect.
Oh.
He is a Sooner. He was a second-round draft pick, Lisa, to
I don't know.
the Miami Dolphins
Nice.
in 1994.
During the NFL draft, I'm like, cold plays, hot plays. When Baker went to Cleveland, I was like, oh, he's going to freeze to death.
Yeah. Let's see here. Ricky Vaughn, Sooner or not a Sooner?
Not a Sooner.
Correct. Do you know who Ricky Vaughn is?
No idea.
Lisa, do you know who Ricky Vaughn is?
You have women on the show tonight, didn't you know?
In the movie Major League,
Oh.
he was played by Charlie Sheen. He was nicknamed the Wild Thing.
I like that movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie. Had the crazy haircut, and he was blind, and they put them big old Buddy Holly glasses on him.
Never saw it.
You know, oh God. I'm sorry.
I have a couple of Marine sons. I won't say what the military calls them.
All right, next one. Roy McAvoy, Sooner not a Sooner?
Sooner.
Nope. Lisa, do you know who? Lisa's so excited she knows somebody.
Tin Cup.
Tin Cup. Roy
Tin Cup.
Yeah, was Kevin Costner's character in Tin Cup. We were actually,
See, if you'd have said Kevin Costner, I would have gotten it.
Yes, ma'am. Kevin Costner.
And just so y'all know, I mean, everybody knows me and Rob play a lot of golf. That's the greatest golf quote movie ever, and every time we play, somebody uses a Tin Cup reference, and like we play with a couple of older guys that we met out there at the club, and one of them's name is Legene. He's a great guy. He's hilarious, and he's very stickler on the rules. But he hit a drive out of bounds today, and John is the other older fella, and Legene was going to just hit again from the tee box, and John goes, you can drop it up there. And he goes, I know. And of course, I had to throw out the Tin Cup reference. Somebody tell him he doesn't have to hit it from there. Tackle him. Do something. So, I think one of the closest to the greatest movies ever, sports movies. Okay. Kevin Murphy, Sooner not a Sooner?
Sooner.
Correct.
I actually have a photo with him.
Wow, look at that.
I don't know, and again, let me preface, I'm a girl. I don't know what he plays. Like, if you said Creed Humphrey, I'd be like, defense! But I don't know which position he played, but I do know he's a Sooner, and he's a very lovely gentleman.
That was hilarious.
Was Creed defense?
No, he wasn't.
See, even worse. I know he was, okay. I know he was one of the guys on the line.
There you go.
The offensive line.
Yeah, offensive
Sorry,
line.
Sorry, man.
It's just the way you said it all
really
together.
Cool.
But no, Kevin Murphy was a second-round draft pick in 1986.
I remember him.
To who'd you go to?
I think the Buccaneers.
You are correct, Lisa.
think so.
Look at you go.
Woohoo!
I'm still laughing.
If you said it was, we're not laughing at you. We hope we're laughing with you, Treva. It was when you went. If you said Creed Humphreys, I'd say defense. It was just your whole.
Dang it! It happens.
Okay.
Life's too short not to be laughed at. It's okay.
Next one, Thomas Benson, Sooner or not a Sooner?
Not a Sooner.
He was a Sooner.
Ah!
And again, I tried to help you out, but in second round draft pick to where, Lisa?
I'm not sure.
The Atlanta Falcons.
Ah.
What year?
1986.
Was I around then?
I don't know. I am not. I'm not going to ask you how old you are. So.
I was very young in '86.
You were very young in '86. So was I. I just graduated high school. So. Okay, I tried to find out how old she was, and she didn't take the bait, did she?
Well,
Nope.
of course she wouldn't. I should slap you for even trying to make her say it.
Okay, Morris Buttermaker, Sooner not a Sooner.
Oh, there's more. I'm going to say Buttermaker was a Sooner.
Nope.
Bad
No.
News Bears coach.
Yeah, he was Walter
See,
Matthau, the alcoholic former minor league baseball player who coached the Bad News Bears.
Apparently, I need to watch those movies all again. I'm telling Brandon right now. If Brandon's next and he's the Baltimore president, I'm going to help him out. Texting Brandon.
Yeah,
Brandon, watch all those movies.
Go watch every sports movie because they're going to ask you questions about them. So
you've got a week, bro.
But yep. Okay, so that was Sooner not a Sooner. That's one of our.
Oh, thank goodness. Oh.
That's.
How many did I get? Let's not talk about how many I missed.
I don't keep track. We don't
He
keep
said she
score.
gets bonus points. So
Well,
you weren't
that's
keeping track at all.
Did you not see my?
I remember one
asterisks?
time you guys played a game with me where you were acting like you were pulling questions out of a bucket.
No, we actually did pull questions out of a bucket. The Sooner bucket of
I never
questions.
believed there was a bucket, and I still don't see one. So
There was a bucket, but it was it. And the thing is we ended up asking the same question because Rob didn't understand he was supposed to take the questions out and leave them out of the bucket.
Right.
Afterwards, so we would go, and it was like we've already asked that, haven't we? So, but yeah, it was the Sooner bucket of questions, and it was a Sooner bucket that had Sooner questions in it. So, but everybody that would listen to the podcast, they seem to always like the Sooner not a Sooner. So,
Yeah.
And I'm terrible.
Do not feel bad, and I don't.
You should do the dubbing of somebody going boo.
Well, remember you talking about you're not technical. I'm not that technical. If I could figure out how to do it while we're doing it, yeah.
You could just play boo on your phone.
Yeah, well, I probably could. But to go put it in afterwards, that's a lot of work, and I'm lazy.
You just play it. You just play it on your phone. Have the boo and not boo. Because until we got our wonderful DJ, we had to hook up to a speaker the Boomer Sooner song. Because the flow chart. By the way, I don't know if anybody's seen that meme about when to play Boomer Sooner. I don't know if anybody's seen that. It's the most brilliant thing. We use it as a training tool. But Chuck had asked our new DJ when he came in, was like, okay, so how often do I need to play? Because he's not a Sooner fan. He is now, but at the time. And I said, okay, well, let me pull up the flow chart. And I literally pulled up that and was like, anything positive happens, play Boomer Sooner. They do a touchdown, play Boomer Sooner. First down, play Boomer Sooner.
Yeah.
So I definitely miss the band. That's one thing I enjoy. I get a nice arm workout too. So
I'm not even going to ask what that means.
So my arm goes. I'm like shaking my fist in the air with the whole boom Sooner.
Gotcha.
So.
Okay.
I usually get headaches during the game because I yell so much. Yeah. Yeah, because I call it alcohol-induced yelling headaches.
Hair of the dog the next day.
I'm usually at home. Well, and even at games, if I'm not happy, I get real quiet. Okay.
Right. Duly noted.
Yeah, and if I'm in even at my house, I get, but I'm also superstitious. I know Lisa's superstitious. Yeah, do you have any game day superstitions that you do?
Absolutely. I am banned forever from ever wearing my Sooners socks during any Oklahoma game of any kind.
Because something bad happened, right?
They lose when I wear them.
Well, there you go.
So I do not. I can wear them
any other time.
Not a game.
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
My brother is a huge Sooner fan too, and he's recommended just burning all of mine, but I don't think I could do that.
No.
I
You
could
can still wear them. You just don't wear them at certain times.
I might could mail them to a Texas friend and allow them to do it, but I personally couldn't do it. So I do not wear any Sooner socks, and we all have superstitions. I think I think it's a Sooner thing, maybe. I know it's a sports thing for sure, but I've noticed there's a lot of Sooner fans, and we will admit to them.
Yeah. Now, Rob's not superstitious. Rob's like, he thinks it's weird. But he has gone out, we have our patio is called the Raleigh patio.
Right.
And when you're uncomfortable, which most times at home, I'm out there at some point in time, whether we're, but, we'll go out on the Raleigh patio. Rob will join us, but he thinks it's, okay, fine. But, and now, Lisa, I can't remember, what are your...
I really don't have
You
any.
don't have any? I would figure you would.
That's what I was saying. You said I did. I was like, I'm sitting over here going, what do I do?
Yeah. See,
Every
year I buy a new hat and a new game day hat and a new game day shirt.
Well, now I do that, but that's not a superstition. That's
if
just
we
because I want
if we lose, I don't wear it during the games anymore. I'll never wear it for another game. I'll still wear it, but I won't wear it for games.
Right.
And was it Bob's last year? Yeah, when we lost the 3 games, we lost to Ohio State, Houston, and somebody else. I literally bought 3 sets of hats and shirts, because it's like, I got to go get something different. Now, I don't do that because, I'm not made of money. So what I do is like, I bought this, so now I'll go back to wearing what I wore last year.
When purchasing said shirts, we have available shirts as well. So if you need a special one, you can get one of those from our merchandise store.
Exactly. And where will we find that merchandise store?
So that is on the website. If you scroll down and look for merchandise, there's actually a big red button, I do believe. I personally haven't purchased anything lately, just because it's
Buy Club Merchandise.
Yes. And you click on that, and it's also on our social media typically, especially when we come out with new stuff. And we do, it's a lot of hard work getting all that stuff together. We're going to have new stuff soon. So for those of you who have been to the store, this was a first thing for us this year. It was brand new, so it doesn't look like Macy's by any means. And be kind, because we're all volunteers again. But we will be adding new merchandise soon. We actually have to get a list of approved vendors and have permission. And then a lot of times you just call someone and say, hey, I'd like to make this. And they're like, it's licensed. And we're like, but we have permission. And they still won't do it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I see you guys have a Coach Stoop style visor.
There's one left, by the way. There is one of those left.
It's Coach Stoop style. I think you should put it back for me.
Well, Lincoln used to wear them too.
Yeah, but I think the reason, well, he does, he's wearing them again. There was one time he didn't, and this is just my personal observation. I think it was because Lincoln was becoming more like Terry up on the top of his head, which by meaning I mean bald. And I think he's done something to get hair to grow back there, because it's not as thin as what it was.
It's a chia pet.
Yeah, it's because he actually even said, Toby at his coach's show here at Rudy's Barbecue, said, you put on a hat, and it was because the top of his head was getting sunburned. And I feel his pain, because the top of your head getting sunburned hurts. But, and then he wore a hat for a little while, and I think he's gone back to the visors. So I think it's because, that's just me. I don't know. I don't have any inside thing about whether Lincoln got, went to the hair club of men or anything like that. But
hey now.
And you got the cool Atlanta, T-shirts. That's a Georgia license plate.
Yes.
And your hats are, if you're a golfer out there or anything, or just a hat collector, this is a cool trucker style snapback hat.
And if anyone wants to send us a photo of them wearing it, we will post them if they're okay with it.
Yeah.
We like to do that. Some of our Sooners will wear them to the airport, and so we've got pictures of that. But they can also send it to us, and we will post them everywhere.
Yeah. And you have the grocery tote bag, a red OU Club of Atlanta grocery tote bag.
Yes. Which for everybody listening too, we're going to be doing a what we call a boomer swag bag. So a boomer bag for all new memberships. So as a gift to anyone who purchases a membership, which you don't have to be a member of the club to do that. You can also make donations too. We have a lot of members or folks that aren't in Atlanta, but they can donate to their clubs through their website. There's a place on there where you can choose to donate or get a membership. For some of the clubs, we also offer a swag bag, but ours is called the Boomer Bag. And it's going to have a lot of really cool stuff. I've been working hard the last several months to get that together. And one of our other members, Joel, to have something nice for those folks who, take the time and help us out and things like that. So we've got a lot of really cool stuff, including a lanyard from the university itself. Andrew Wirtz, our guy over there, sent us those to help us out, and so we will be putting those in the first 25 bags. So
cool.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, I think that's about it. Lisa, do you have any information that you want to drag out of Treva, or any thoughts of wisdom
Oh, well, no.
for her?
Absolutely no thoughts of wisdom.
Hey, I gave you an opportunity, so.
You said to keep it PG.
PG-13.
Okay, well, still.
But, well, Treva, again, we appreciate you coming on.
100%.
Everybody, check out their social media. They're on Facebook and Twitter. I had your page pulled up here.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, we're on all of those. And if folks have something they want to see posted, they're welcome to message us anything they like to. We don't always get to all of it, and we can't post everything. Obviously, if you send us something we can't post it.
Yeah.
But, we're always looking for extra help because, again, I am a girl. Clearly, I need the help. I didn't do so well with the game. So
It's okay.
the sooner, not a sooner. So if the fellas want to help a girl out and send me stuff, I will try and get everything posted that gets sent. So
Yeah, but they're on Twitter. It is at OU Club Atlanta, and then
Yep.
your website is www.ouclub. I went to your shop. Hold on.
that's okay.
Yeah, OU
Shop
Club.
away.
Yeah, ouclubofatlanta.com, and
Correct.
that's where you can find their merchandise. And there's a lot of you guys out there that I know listen to the podcast. You probably already have, but go check out their website. Everything you buy goes to help out their club and Sooners. Sooner students for their the work that they do with scholarships. But
It's a great thing.
it is.
And if you're traveling or you're in another city, you are not alone. We're everywhere.
Yeah. But again, we appreciate it, and we'll do it again soon. Okay, Treva?
100%. Thanks, you guys.
Boomer.
Sooner.